We seek the threads that connect the past and present to inspire others in their quests. This is why we do what we do. Tales from the Negatives Get Technical. In January of this year, the Ramsey Research Library launched a campaign called Then and Now to show you what places in Stark County look like in other times. This feature of the McKinley Presidential Library and Museum's Facebook has been well received. In our Then and Now posts, we feature a particular place in Stark County. We then hold up a photograph from our archives to show you what the area looked like in the year the photograph was taken. We do our best to enhance each photograph and hopefully bring out as many details as we can. Each post is shared with several local Facebook groups and is posted on our Archivist Attic blog. Today we want to show you the amazing transformation from a raw negative to an enhanced photograph. At the same time, we will tell you the story of how one photograph in our archive of 530 glass plate negatives, through scanning at a high resolution, helped to solve a 48-year-old mystery. Ready? Here we go. First, we begin with the archive of 530 glass plate negatives. These negatives came to us in 1972. Until now, many details were locked up in the chemicals on these glass plates. With a good scanner, we can now make high-resolution scans to unlock and bring out some pretty amazing details in these photographs. On March 3rd of this year, I scanned number 1972.64.98, and this came up on the screen. This is when you ask yourself, what can I do with this? Next, you make some adjustments in your scanner software, and this pops out on the screen. The next thing you want to do is turn the discolored image to black and white, and you will get this image. Finally, you can enhance and repair the photograph, and your reward is this beautiful photograph of a drugstore on South Market Avenue in Canton, Ohio. Using the enhanced photograph, I began to walk around this drugstore in what we think is possibly the teens of the 20th century. The first thing I noticed were two signs in the back of the room. Zooming in on one of the signs, it read, Hamilton's Lucky Day Sale. Could Hamilton be the owner of the drugstore? Zooming in on the soda fountain, I noticed some writing on the cash register. There it was, the answer to our question of who may have shot these wonderful photographs. The nameplate attached to the register read, Robert Hamilton. This situation reminded me of how Mandy Altimus Stahl, archivist at the Massillon Museum, talked about a Massillon photographer named Stanley Baltzley. Mr. Baltzley managed a drugstore in Massillon full-time with a side job in photography for himself commercially, and also processed photographs for other people. This piece of information led me to think about Mr. Hamilton possibly being a druggist who owned a drugstore of his own and possibly processed his own photographs. We have since found evidence that Robert Hamilton was both a pharmacist and a photographer. We promise to keep you updated on other information on Mr. Hamilton when it comes to light. Stay tuned for more stories from our series, Tales from the Negatives. Mark G. Holland, Archivist, McKinley Presidential Library and Museum.